Bro, still in custody right now as we speak. Right now, we gonna check out academics. Diddy taken into custody, facing life in prison. Hope y'all having a blessed week.
Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Breaking news, niggas. Breaking news. Holy. They done got the diddler. God damn it. They took the diddler in custody. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Big Ack is here. We're locked in for the rest of the night. I'm hearing, if this is what I believe it is, I believe that the indictment should be unsealed in the morning. Matter of fact, by the way, all this is happening right now. I've been on the phone with a lot of people. This is very big breaking news right here. Number one, let me see, log in. Here we go. I'm just checking this federal database real quick to see if we have any indictments. The indictment is clearly sealed. By the way, breaking news, people. Sean Puff Daddy Combs has been taken into custody. Now, what custody seemingly means is that, ooh, what's this? That's not it. What custody seemingly means is that he has been arrested on a federal indictment. Now, this is going to be very important. Also, to clarify, and by the way, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of things tonight, so chat, you guys are going to want to stay tuned. Could y'all hear me? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. I just want to make sure we good. You guys want to make sure you're tuned in for the entirety of the stream. Once again, Sean Puff Daddy Combs has been taken into custody in New York. I did tell you it was something about Diddy not only putting up that property, and supposedly he's going to sell the property at the Homely Hills property in LA, but it appears that Sean Diddy Combs, we all saw him go to New York. I told y'all, something about this told me that he was getting prepared, right? I told you that I expected the indictment to come, or news of indictment or lack thereof to happen before the end of this month. And I only told you that about 4 or 5 days ago. And, from what I've learned about the feds, they might take you into custody on the weekend, but you only find out on Monday, okay? Obviously, we're hearing that it happened today. But regardless, maybe and possibly we will hear a possible arraignment tomorrow. But a lot of things to discuss, okay? A lot of things to discuss. Now, truth be told, and what we should be very aware of, and we're going to read some of these details. We're getting exclusively via TMZ, and they have actual sources, I noticed as a fact, with HSI and also with the Southern New York District. They work a lot there, getting tips, leads, this and third. So when they say something, it's official. There's two things to consider. First and foremost, if Diddy's taken into custody, that word custody is very loose. You could be taken into custody but not being arrested necessarily for these said crimes. Now, it's more likely that he's arrested and he's going to be charged officially for these crimes, which means the grand jury is over with, because, as I've said before, Diddy, not only because he came back to New York, looked like he was tying up loose ends elsewhere, and he came to New York voluntarily. This also tells me that I believe, again, I'm telling you, the rumors are Diddy's paying him between $2 to $3 million per month on lawyers. It's a full court press, not only on a criminal level, but civilly as well. He's handling every and anything, because he does realize that some of these civil cases turned into something that became a federal, investigation. So his lawyers are working around the clock. When he came to New York, it told me that, we're not talking about a public defender. We're not talking about some run-of-the-mill lawyer. We're not talking about some low level. We're talking about the best of the best. Diddy got the most money. Well, he has enough money to pay for any lawyer he needs. And those lawyers, the difference between $2 to $3 million a month and you paying your lawyer maybe $2,000 a month is the fact that they're going to be talking to the U.S. attorney directly, okay? Not trying to torpedo the case. They can't call no favors like, nah, don't indict him. But what they could call in is some transparency on usually a process that's non-transparent, right? The grand jury process is non-transparent usually for a defendant. I told you guys before, it was possible that maybe Diddy was here to testify, which is usually unusual in a grand jury indictment proceeding. However, the reason why I thought he might have been involved is that his lawyers have been cooperative, okay? Even though Diddy's the subject of this investigation, your lawyers still got to cooperate, right? So, hey, again, maybe if they got some safes, hey, we'll just unlock them for you. Hey, you said you guys can't find what? We'll help you out. Now, again, this also is usually a sign of good faith, especially if you believe you're innocent, right? Hey, listen, we'll help you figure out and investigate because we know you're going to come to the conclusion we ain't do nothing, right? So, again, even if Diddy's guilty, if you got the best lawyers are going to talk to the U.S. attorney, right? The people who are presenting this to the grand jury. So I thought when he came to New York, maybe he would testify. It's very rare, but you got the best lawyers in the world that are probably friends with these guys. Maybe they could say, hey, could we have the grand jury consider Diddy's side of things? He's down to testify. You guys could, ask him certain questions unless he has to plead the fifth. And that was unlikely. And by the way, I'm still not sure if that happened. Regardless, if that didn't happen, the other thing happened. And it tells me that Diddy coming to New York, it was probably abundantly clear and it was sent a notice to his lawyers that, hey, brother, we're probably going to come to a decision soon within the next week or so. I've talked to a few people who said, damn, why Diddy ain't run? There ain't no running here, right? The reason why there ain't no running, yes, his passport isn't taken, but for you to leave legally the United States on any flight, private or commercial, there's something called a manifest. You have to register with the FAA with the location, the original location to the destination. And if they ever saw that Diddy was going to any place that could protect him from, extradition, Bali or something like that, they don't need to wait on the grand jury to arrest him, okay? It becomes a different process, but they could arrest him immediately. So I'm pretty sure it was like a handshake type of situation to say, we ain't gonna lock you up while we go through this process because we want to make sure we make the right decision and pretty much ensuring that there's no, police tainting this process, no detective, no elected official that's swaying this process. A grand jury is going to be a peer of Diddy. Like, it's going to be, people who are constituents of that particular district, which is the Southern District of New York. So, that is the preferred way to indict, especially for people who think that, for example, if you indict Diddy and Diddy beats the case, you're done. Like, if you do it, so a DA could do it through, obviously what's called a complaint. If you indict Diddy through a complaint, which then goes to a judge, they're going to arrest him, but they're going to go to a judge for what's called a preliminary hearing. I showed you that that's what happened with A$AP Rocky. Let's say even if that goes through the preliminary hearing and they do indict him, if Diddy beats that case, which you got to imagine, if Diddy's facing life, I don't care what charges we're going to see, he's going to be facing life, right? If Diddy beats and spanks that case, that DA is finished, right? Like, you're overzealous DA trying to make a name by indicting a black man. Diddy could spin this all type of ways. If he gets indicted by a DA or a DA's office, that was just overzealous. And, he could even flip the narrative. you listen to a bunch of civil lawsuits which don't really account for the fact, and they're only complaints, at least the initial stages. So they wanted to cross their T's, dot their I's. The DA is not making a decision. The DA is offering up evidence that they've found through search warrants, interrogations, snitches, anything else, witnesses, victims, that they would have the grand jury to basically say, do we have probable cause to indict? And what happens at a point is that, remember I said when they start serving those subpoena, I said, oh, we're getting close. Because it feels like it was at the last part of validation, or not validation, but just checking a few things. And even then I thought it was for maybe additional charges. I think that they went through the brunt of the evidence already, and they were finalizing this whole thing. So they had to do a vote, right? Now, that vote would most likely have been done, I would think, last week. Again, I don't know exactly how, every grand jury proceeding works, but maybe it was done last week, maybe Friday. Could have been done today, right? The reason I would say Friday, if a grand jury's been held for months, because from we heard grand jury's been months now. So these people have been listening to this fucking probable cause case for months. I would imagine if they were going to vote, they would probably vote on the Friday, because why come back on the Monday to vote? Because today's Monday, right? So they probably voted then, and then what happens is there's the next step is a presentment, right? Now the presentment is where the grand jury, after their vote, presents it to the court what their findings are. Now, again, the difference between a grand jury and a jury in your criminal case, right? Your trial jury is that your trial jury has to go 12, if it's 12 jurors, 12-0. Everyone has to agree that you're guilty. In a grand jury hearing, usually they have 23 people, and they look for at least 23 people, and they look for like 12, right? So if 12 people, so it would be 12 that say yes, and maybe 11 said no, they indict, right? So they're looking for majority. Majority rules at that point, okay? Remember, this is not to convict you, it's only to indict. Indicting someone means that there's probable cause that these charges should be listened to in a full court hearing, right? If you don't, so after they vote, clearly it seems like they would have gotten a positive vote. We don't know what that number is sometimes, and I don't think that usually they don't bar the people who are on grand juries from actually speaking out about the proceeding, but you never know. The judge might to say, hey, we don't want to taint this case, don't say nothing about it. Or they might say you can't say anything about it until the case is done. But regardless, those people, we're probably going to hear some leaks on what that process was like and what the vote was like. Like, was it close? Was it 24 or 23-0? Was it 12-11? Who knows? Regardless, they do a presentment, and that's when they, the presentment is an official bill, which what they call, if there is no indictment, it's called a no bill. So they basically fill out a paper. They say it's a no bill indictment, which means we don't find probable cause that this potential defendant could be brought up on charges on any of the criminal charges that were presented to us. So they present the criminal charges the DA thinks could match the crimes, present the evidence of the crime. They get to look at the probable cause, and if there is probable cause, they vote yes. If there is none, they vote no. If the overall majority is no, they would say the no bill, we're giving a no bill, which means Diddy would be scot-free. Usually in cases where grand juries choose not to indict and they present a no bill, unless there's some drastic change or some nigga just like fucking confesses, the case is pretty much dead, right? Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to bring another, usually detectives did the best job they could to fucking find all the evidence to bring to grand jury. If the grand jury can't indict, usually dead, right? Now, it doesn't mean you're indemnified. So if like, if you come back later, the difference between that and going to trial, say OJ Simpson, came out, right? And OJ Simpson said, you know what? I did kill that bitch. Nothing could happen to him. He went through the trial of him being, charged criminally with murder, and he beat it. So even if he admits it, can't go back. That's called double jeopardy. With the grand jury, the case is usually just dead because there's no reason to ever bring it back to a grand jury if the evidence isn't there. But if that person comes out and says, oh, yeah, I did do that shit, you're probably going to get indicted. That's just how it works. That rarely ever happens unless somebody's a fucking idiot, if they did the crime, whatever. But that wouldn't appear to be the situation here. This, the U.S. Attorney Office basically saying, hey, there are probable cause. Now, we don't know if they're indicting on every count or every particular charge. We will see how many counts, what charges. What we do and should probably note about this whole situation is that if you listen to any lawyer, historically, a grand jury, they have a saying to say a grand jury could indict a ham sandwich, which means it doesn't take much to convince them because they only need probable cause, right? If you can make a good argument that seems to be the thing that happened, which every, most prosecutor could do the bare minimum. Like, think about Young Thug. Like, again, I think that did go through grand jury indictment, I believe. Actually, the first time, there was 3 people charged with nuts murder. The first time, they got grand jury indicted, and they got found innocent. The case got dropped because they realized, even after it got indicted, the case got dropped because they realized they had the wrong people. But the grand jury looked at it and said, well, it kind of makes sense, so we're going to indict them. But then, as the case developed and other things kind of came out, the prosecutors realized this case was not going to go anywhere. So they dropped it, right? So again, a grand jury indictment, it's all about probable cause. They could also indict you for literally anything. The thing in Diddy's situation, and this is why I said this on Vlad, right? I did an interview on Vlad. Well, actually, I don't know if that came out yet. I definitely predicted that, Diddy would be indicted. I think many people did. Because here's the thing. It's one thing to indict someone on very specific crimes. Yo, did you shoot that person at that time on that street? Right? Now, if you have an alibi, well, at that time I was fucking my bitch in another state. Well, that kind of blows up the probable cause. Yeah, that's an alibi. You're not going to indict. Right? Like, again, this is if you're innocent, right? Like, obviously if you were chilling on the street, had a gun in your waist, like, you may get indicted because motherfucker, like, there's probable cause that you fit the description, had a gun, was on the same street that somebody got shot at the same time. Here's the point I'm trying to say. They hit Diddy not with specific and we're gonna see specific, like, allegations and charges. That's what I think, right? I'm guesstimating here. I do think that the indictment will be on seal tomorrow in the morning or maybe Wednesday. However, the reason why it hit with a few charges, hard to beat, period. RICO. Racketeering charges historically are hard to beat. Because while maybe one particular crime of being an organized criminal gang or whatever, well, you got to prove that Young Thug, even though he rented the car that fit the description that did the drive-by, was Young Thug in the car? Did he give somebody else the car? Like, you can't just, did he know about someone else driving? Like, you can't just indict or just, like, bring somebody to trial for one thing because you kind of have a hunch, unless you have somebody who was in the car who did it, who may have, had some type of text message to Thug to say, Thug told me to do it. He gave me the gun here. Actually, he's called on my Ring camera. I drove his car. That's called, Thug gets arrested. The easier way to get Thug to go down is you just file a RICO. So you put that allegation, right, which is kind of patchy without all those, details. with 5 other allegations, and it basically you overwhelm the jury. Like I kind of have a mixed feeling about RICO cases because it's all about overwhelming the jury. Like I know a lot of people like, nah, man, why is Woody got Young Thug off? Why do you think that? Like they're presenting shit after shit after shit. Yeah, that might have been one of the main murders that he was supposedly be the
when
main
bruh
witness
say that,
for.
when bruh say, people be like, why is Woody helping Thug? Who? He don't never say who be telling him that. Cause who the fuck say that? Who be saying that? Like, I don't think nobody be saying that.
But they're presenting like 20 other different crimes. They don't. The point of a RICO is not to prove one crime; it's to prove that you guys had a operation that historically did multiple crimes, right? And also, by the way, obviously the feds specifically love it, but law enforcement loves this type of way of charging people because they, historically when the top guy would never touch the drugs or the gun to kill somebody or touch the money, so he would always look clean. He would have somebody else tell somebody else to tell somebody else to do it. How do you catch the guy who's making all the plays and financing and doing all the shit? You catch him with the RICO. So, it's popular for that reason. We see all our favorite, again, this is coming out of the Southern District, and I'm going to read this in a second. This is coming out of the Southern District of New York. Now, the Southern District of New York, I've told you, this is the, see? Okay, now TMZ just updated us. A law enforcement source confirms the arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day early. Now, with...
Diddy probably was trying to run.
This means is that they were watching him. Maybe, most likely, not even most likely, 5,000,000%. Diddy's phone is tapped. His associates' phones are tapped. And they were sitting on it, and they were going to arrest him. Like, I'll give you the story on the 6ix9ine situation. I remember when 6ix9ine saw me or wanted to see me that Saturday. They were going to arrest him, I think, like 4 or 5 days later. Then they hear him on the phone. Also, they had trucks, like, I guess he realized after a while. They had trucks all lined up, like white trucks all lined up outside his building. Pretty much just surveillance shit, right? Like, this is why people be like, oh, Diddy should run to another country. You think the feds are just, like, over here watching him on Instagram, walking around Harlem? Or the feds is, like, literally there. Like, my nigga, they've spent so much money on this shit. They can't have this. Anyway, with 6ix9ine, when he was on the phone saying, oh, yeah, I'm about to go to this casino, somehow Shotty and them found out, and they said, and that's when the Jim Jones thing come in, they'd be like, yo, y'all got to go make an example out of him. They realize he's going to be the main guy who we could possibly flip. We can't do with a dead snitch. By the way, 6ix9ine didn't snitch yet, but they knew he probably would. So they arrested him early. So they said, hell nah, nigga, we ain't going to have you get shot, okay? So I'm pretty sure Diddy might have planned to, I don't know, maybe there was something on the itinerary. Maybe somebody was coming in town that they feel could, like, it have aided him to either do some shit to jeopardize their case. So they arrested him today, right? So if the arrest was meant for tomorrow, it probably means that the U.S. attorney was probably ready to unseal this case on Wednesday. So I'm still thinking Wednesday. So I think they're going to take him into custody. I would expect that whatever interrogation they would have wanted to do to Diddy, they would have probably ran it by his lawyers already. So they're not waiting till, like, broke niggas, if they collar you, they're going to be like, let me take you to the station and ask you some question. They probably already asked Diddy, like, hey, you and your lawyers want to come in? We do want to have some, we got a question for you. Or maybe they even offered a proffer, right? So I'm pretty sure they're just going to keep Diddy in custody, and him being in custody, again, what we don't.
That's crazy, man. Last week, Academic said that bro about to get locked up and shot. His case about to start. Like, bro know too much, bro. I was like, man, hell nah. And they said, did he on that Jergen sponsorship? I ain't even see you said that. Well, that nigga academics know too much, man. God damn.
Don't know yet or realize is that most likely, Diddy is not the only person charged. The thing with RICO
Might
cases,
just get
and
hit with
we
that
do
Rico.
believe he's getting hit with a few things. And let me backtrack again too. So racketeering cases hard to beat,
Bread is
easy
tough,
to
nigga.
indict, especially if they have multiple isolated areas of criminal activity, which they obviously do with Diddy. So we think they're gonna hit him with a racketeering, a RICO statute, and under RICO, you could put multiple things. So like the RICO is a big thing. So like you're a criminal organization. Now, what criminal organization acts did you habitually participate in? Sex trafficking is gonna fall underneath that, right? There probably is
Damn,
gonna be,
Diddy.
you know, I gotta get my
Take
nigga
that.
Myron on here, but if you talk to like some people who are familiar with the Fed system and how like the U.S. attorney usually get down, especially Southern District, they always throw drugs in it. Like for example, and I'm gonna use 6ix9ine a lot as an example. It's the same people who charge 6ix9ine. When they charge 6ix9ine, they put that he was selling drugs back on Locust Street back in the day. What the fuck does 6ix9ine sell drugs? It's not even a matter of him selling drugs. It makes the charges look more appealing, right? Also, if you're trying to map out an organization, you want to show that they're making money in illicit ways. They're blatantly just breaking the law by either doing violence, extreme violence, or just doing some really deviant behavior like sex trafficking. So I think we're gonna see some drugs, and I think we're gonna see something in terms of violence. Okay. Now, the big thing, obviously, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here with a lot of things.
Fine.
They're probably, if they could tie him to Tupac, they're going to, right? If they could tie him to the 99 club shooting in New York, they're going to, right? By the way, all of these things have no statutes of limitation. Murder, attempted murder,
Damn.
these all are going to be, par for the course. Now, the drugs, that does have statute of limitation. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Statute of limitations, drugs, federal. Federal drug crime. I think it's, drug crimes, usually it's around 5 years. Now, granted, the way how they write these because also the way how they write these two is that they could use 20 years ago as long as you kept doing it as long as it was continual and it kept going until 5 years ago. So that's also like a loophole. So they could charge you for selling drugs in the 1930s as long as you kept selling drugs until 2019. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you're 5 years out and you haven't done none of that shit, you're clear, right? But they could bring it all the way back up as long as you kept doing it. So again, they're gonna try most likely. Obviously they had arrested that guy who everybody called a drug mule, right? Remember this guy? Like, we haven't heard nothing from him since. Drug mule Diddy, right? Which I think we all probably feel like they probably flipped, right? This guy. So,
I firmly believe
if he goes in there and says, yes, Diddy had me transporting. By the way, he did do a plea as well too. He did do a plea. But if he goes in there and says, yo, Diddy used to have me bring, drugs in my booty hole across all of the fucking country. You know what I mean? Like, I used to put the crack in my brack or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck. You know what I mean? If he does that and I was doing it up till this point, this is 2024, those are drug charges that would probably go underneath it. So if you ask me, and by the way, I think I've been pretty accurate with the predictions. Sex trafficking, we're going to see 100%, I believe. I think we're going to see something with drugs and something with violence. Now, we might see also some other things like extortion, blackmail. However they're going to file those, but we're almost anticipating it's going to be something to that extent. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah. So pretty much, you know, I've told you like the worst. Anytime you see somebody get charged with these crimes, they're fucked. You got to just take a plea, just do a couple of years, and hopefully a couple of years and get out. Sex trafficking, right? That's like a catch-all shit. Like, nigga, were you pimping this bitch? Like, yes, you got him. Because it's kind of weird how it's set up. It says if you've moved a individual across state lines for the purpose of commercial sex acts that interfered with interstate commerce, which is like a really hazy way of saying if you fuck bitches and you got money, you could be sex trafficking depending how we want to see it, motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? At least for a charge. You know, obviously you got to really prove it, right? Obviously we heard the stories about Diddy, so we're not gonna be like, oh my God, no, how are you gonna prove it? Like, I mean, pretty much what Cassie's described as sex trafficking, pretty much when we're hearing that, oh, freak-offs, the freak-off sounds like sex trafficking. Just to be honest, that's kind of the damn near definition of what sex trafficking would be legally almost, you know, defined as. Other than that, so you never want to get a sex trafficking charge because it's just so hard to beat. And I'm talking just as, you know, obviously I'm the ghetto lawyer because I'm not an official lawyer, by the way, clearly. Sex trafficking charge is hard to beat. RICO, obviously RICO could have sex trafficking underneath it, but anything RICO, they usually do that with gangs more. Usually do that with violence or murders, but like still, RICO, just hard to beat. Wire fraud. This is for all the scammers in the world, right? They can't catch you because you think you finesse Chase. Well, some way, somehow, you have to work through a bank. You're going to jail, right? Like, you know, that's how they catch most of the people who, you know, maybe they haven't been violent, but they think they're doing white collar crime. They even capture a lot of these guys even on Wall Street. A lot of white collar crime. You'll see the wire fraud. What else? I'm trying to think. What else? There's a few other ones. RICO, sex trafficking, wire fraud.
Bribery.
Okay. I'll think of it later. Anyway, these pictures look like... Oh, these are old. Yeah, these are old. So this is from March 25th, 2024. This is when the feds appeared on the scene. It said he was taken into custody. You know, we're going to have to learn more about this. Was he taken into custody by them showing up unannounced? Or, again, we have to believe, because we know Diddy's going to have to go through this case, go through this trial. He's well aware of it, right? I'm not defending him, Chad, for anybody who's thinking. I'm just, like, you know, the guy got it. Even if he's guilty, he's not dumb, right? Like, you're not going to be like, this is not like, oh, my God, I'm running away. You can't. In a lot of these situations, they might have turned him over. They might have just got a call. Yo, yeah, we were going to do it tomorrow, but bring that nigga in. Or bring that nigga downstairs. Who knows? He might be at a penthouse somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They're not like fucking, you know what I mean? In some people's situation, they would be fucking kicking through the windows. But now that clearly Diddy knows that he was under investigation, I'm pretty sure it was a very formal type of situation. Yo, we have a warrant for your client's arrest. And I'm pretty sure it was peaceful, right? I'm pretty sure it was peaceful. Apparently, okay, he swooped into so Diddy was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York Monday night, TMZ has learned. Sources tell TMZ that Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday. Now, you know what's funny? Homeland Security is, like, HSI works with FBI and local authorities, and then they also deputize a lot of like NYPD officers. You know, they do a lot in the Southern District of New York. And it's funny because when you think of Homeland Security, you're like, God damn it, how much fucking is Diddy doing that? When you hear Homeland Security, you're like, God damn, that nigga's dick must be something. Yo, it must be what they used to call it, a weapon of mass destruction. If Homeland Security is... No, Homeland Security is just... I mean, obviously, they do investigate up to that. I'm going to see if I get Myron on here, bro. Like he used to work for HSI, which is Homeland Security, and they do a lot. Like they do a lot of gang bust. They do a lot of shit like this. They're not necessarily only trying to prevent terrorists from knocking down a building or two, right? But anyway, Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday, where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him. We have unconfirmed reports. The feds are searching his hotel room. Okay, yeah. So basically, they hit him with an arrest warrant and a search warrant again. We're told Diddy was taken into the FBI field office in Manhattan. It appears that the action was taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to search warrants being issued being issued and executed at Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills and Miami. As we reported, a grand jury has been hearing testimony from various accusers over the last few months. Anything more to add? Okay, Diddy's attorney did speak. Let me see is there anything else? Okay. Ooh, here we go. Another update. Remember they were supposed to lock him up tomorrow, but here my boy Myron, just on time, my boy.
Yeah, I'll jump on your stream in a little bit to talk about this.
Okay, yeah. I'm in Discord, so just hit me anytime.
Nigga, he talking about some jump on your stream. You know he's streaming, nigga. Like, come on, bro. You watching him stream, trying to act like he called out of nowhere. Like, niggas be crazy, bro. How much some jump on your stream? You know he on stream, nigga. Fuck, trying to make it sound good.
Alright, bro. Let me log into my Discord and I'll find you. Can you text me your username and I'll jump on and we'll talk?
Again, Myron Gaines, if you guys don't know, co-host of the Fresh and Fit podcast, but he was a former federal agent, did tons of arrests. He worked for HSI around the border area, but he's very familiar with how these investigations are done, complaints are done, how they work in lieu with the U.S. attorney, and basically pretty much how these situations get handled when they have to take someone into custody. You know, I think he's taking a few, I don't know if it's like celebrities, but high-profile targets into custody. So we'll get like some insight from him in a little bit. Anyway, here we go. It says, so his arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in. Oh, let me take my phone off. Do not disturb. I always got this shit on there. All right. So it was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened, so they had to move it a day earlier. However, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, and this is probably interesting, right? Says federal agents took him in based on a sealed indictment filed by the Southern District of New York. I searched the indictments before I got on here that were all filed in Southern District of New York, and from what I could see, there is no indictment there, which is in line with exactly what that U.S. attorney said, that is sealed. So again, we're not hearing when he'll be brought into court. I would imagine that his lawyers wouldn't want him to be, I don't know where they would hold him. You know, I don't know where the federal holding facility is, even though I've heard that it's supposedly they'll lock up. I believe when Casanova was first locked up, they went through the New York intake system, which is like they went down to the Tombs. Like that's like a popular, jail for people in the New York City area. I think 6ix9ine did it as well. No, he didn't, because actually he did until he started cooperating and they got him through the rat hole. You feel me? Shout out to my boy. But yeah, to fly to motherfucking North Korea, like he definitely not getting out. Like, come on, man. Did he even look like a nigga who would even do good, like, in jail, period? So I would have to imagine. Somebody said, act out like what? Yeah, so, I would imagine that they have communicated with law enforcement for this exact reason, right? Like, yo, we weren't trying to run. None of that shit. We are definitely trying to cooperate. We're trying to make sure we get to a trial that we can either get this dismissed or we could beat it. And he's not a flight risk. And when you think about, we could Google this now, right? Federal guidelines for bail consideration, right? I mean, it's usually the same. I forgot what they call it. It's a they usually consider a few things, and there's actually a name for that. In federal cases, they consider these things severity of the offense. Obviously, these are offenses that we believe, again, not no lawyer, but we believe that this could be damn near a life sentence for Diddy. They're serious and heinous in nature. If they concern anything about shooting, maybe a murder, we don't know. But sexual assault, sex trafficking, these are pretty serious first degree offenses. And the severity of the offenses are going to be seen as high. The defendant's criminal history, I don't know what Diddy's criminal. We could probably Google that, right? Even though we might not know everything completely. And I don't know if they really, I mean, obviously, if something that was expungible, like they want to give a fuck. But if he had prior felonies, I don't know if he was. Is Diddy a felon? Is Diddy a felon? Oh, here we go. So he was arrested in the lobby. God damn, my boy was probably going. Have y'all seen the video of Diddy, like, you know, kind of outside? You know, there's a video of Diddy in New York. And I think I even posted it yesterday. It was kind of an odd video because, like, Diddy's just there.
Yeah.
And he's almost there, like, it's like a mannequin. Like, he's just kind of there, and people, he's just like a spectacle. Oh, shit, it's Diddy. He's not really reacting to people.
Said, bro, like
he's not answering their questions. He's not saying, nah, everything's good, brother love. He's not doing that normal thing. He's just kind of there and allowing people to have almost just access to him, which is, you know, still a little bit shocking. I guess not here. I will find it on Academics TV. Okay, so this is one of them.
Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy. I know. I thought he saw him already.
There's a war going on outside.
Now, if you guys don't know, I believe that's G Dep, right? Interesting story about G Dep, former Bad Boy artist. If I'm not incorrect, was it G Dep? G Dep, yeah. G Dep, like in 2013.
Still be on this bitch when you go to work.
2013 or 2010? I can't remember when. Like 15 years before, and he randomly just came out and said, yo, I gotta get this off my conscience. I clapped the nigga, bro, back in the 90s. Damn. Like, he just literally confessed to murder randomly. Okay? This is G-Dep, and by the way, I'm not trying to bring him down or whatever while we're talking about it.
He was on the verge of making it big.
But yeah, in the fall of 1993, a month before his 19th birthday, so apparently this was when he was 18, he did a murder which stayed on his conscience for a very, very long time.
God damn, you ain't got nothing but time on your hand in that motherfucker.
And when did he admit to it? Let's see. I can't remember when. He had admitted. Okay. Yeah, in 2010. Yeah, in 2010 he confessed randomly. Like, I don't even know, maybe it was a video when he confessed. But he did like a video. He was just like, yeah, I killed somebody, which kind of is like so spooky about the 90s. Look, G-Dep confession. It's so spooky about the 90s that somebody could just fucking do a murder and get away with it, but he just kind of randomly came out and just.
This night you were looking to get some money, you said.
Yeah, and I rode the bike over. I rode the bike in the neighborhood for a couple of minutes.
Hey, and by the way, I'm not judging this man who knows what was on his conscience and who knows how his life was being lived. I don't know what that feels like, where you did something and it's just fucking with you so much that, you know, years after. Remember, this is 1993. And in 1993, that would have been 17 years afterwards, right? So he did this at 18, 17. He pretty much lived a second life, but it was still on his conscience. And he admitted.
I just went towards Park Avenue, and I saw a guy standing there. smoking like he was smoking a cigarette or something like that. And I approached him. I got off the bike and I approached him. He didn't seem like he saw me, so I just approached him. And then when I approached him, I asked him where the money was. He didn't say anything. It's like he just really just like responded.
Yeah, I feel bad. You can tell the way he's looking and just confessing. You could tell like this is played in his mind 15,000 times. And by the way, the only reason I'm playing this is one of Diddy's artists, a former Bad Boy artist.
I'm taking that shit with me to the motherfucking dirt. Fuck you talking about? I ain't telling nobody. He got me fucked up.
He recently just got out of jail. The video I just played is Diddy meeting up with him, and Diddy's dapping him up, and Diddy was just like, "Welcome home." Ironically, this guy confessed and did his jail time, which eventually got commuted. Obviously that would have been
The nigga
a
said the
cold
big
case,
diddler.
but he admitted to it. So he did
AKA
about 10
Diddy.
years. They commuted his sentence.
For
actually
looking in
more
the
than 10
streets
years.
of Harlem.
They
Like,
commuted
niggas
his
be
sentence.
wildin'.
He did 13 years actually. They commuted his sentence, and they essentially.
Nah, the diddler is crazy.
Granted him his freedom, and it's ironic. The irony here is that Diddy gets arrested today for crimes that he's definitely not admitting to, but I remember back then I don't even know if Diddy spoke on him like admitting to that and then getting charged and confessing and pleading guilty. But Diddy's in the position where he's potentially going to go to, prison for things that obviously he's not confessing to. But there's a lot of smoke there, right? Anyway, let me just finish. It's only 2 more minutes. Listen to G Dep, then I'll get back to Diddy thing.
Facially, but he didn't say anything. So I asked him again, where's the money? And he put his hands up, and then he just I don't know. We caught eye contact. Then he like grabbed the gun, and it was kind of like a struggle. And I pulled the gun back from him. And then I fired 3 times. And I didn't realize it was hitting him or anything. Cause I didn't see anything. I just fired. I fired 3 times. And then I went after I fired the gun. I kind of just like ran back to the bicycle that I had on the side. And I got on it. He kind of came after me, and I rode off. And I rode up the block, then around the block, then I came like back around the block on 112th at Park Avenue and looked up the block.
Wow, he remembers even the exact street names. Yeah, this was fucking with him. Like you could tell by this is zoned out look as he's doing his confession.
And I saw like a scene. I saw like a police car. I don't know if I saw a car with the lights. The lights coming towards me the wrong way. The wrong way on the block. And I saw an officer look like somebody kneeling over somebody on the floor. So I figured that's what it was. And then I just rolled the bike back around the opposite way. And then I went into my building.
Wow. But yeah, G-Dep is home. And Diddy, while in New York, looked like that security flanking him here.
Oh, that's crazy. I thought he saw him already.
There's a war going on outside.
So ironic and interesting. Even the song in the background is a war going on outside. No man is safe. Now the other video that was in question that I was talking about was this video here, and I've been seeing these videos a lot because Diddy doesn't seem present in terms of he's not answering people. So people are just like recording him. It's like he's a spectacle. It's almost like he's a zoo animal. Like, look at him. Oh my God, he's real. But he's not like answering people like, nah, baby, I'm innocent, girl. Like, obviously,
Man, go ahead.
that might be bad.
Man, go ahead, nigga. The fuck?
I look if he says that anyway. But like, he's not even like answering them and like being.
Nigga said, I'm innocent, baby girl. Chill.
Very present. Anyway.
That's really Diddy, bro.
Lying. Bitch, stop touching me. What are you talking about? Stop touching me.
Hey, yo, what's up?
That's crazy. Where Carisha? Where Carisha and them? No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy to
No
Diddy.
Diddy.
Man, where's Christian? Yo, Christian Combs. This is where you gotta live these raps, Christian Combs. You say anybody who say no Diddy gonna get fucked up. Somebody get Christian Combs. Where is he? Now, here's the interesting part about it. I do believe that if we go by the civil suit, let me just finish
Sound like a freak.
Yo, stop fucking playing with me. Back the fuck up. No, well, guess who's not? Watch how I won't.
Now, one of the interesting things about this is that, you know, remember I'm telling y'all, this is a RICO case. Now, shout out to my man, and I don't know if I could get him on here. I'm gonna hit Kodak's lawyer. I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna try to see if I can get him on here because here's the thing too. As I said about if they're gonna hit him with a RICO.
Shit. I nigga said that nigga guts hurting. Go on with the bullshit.
If you're gonna hit Diddy with the RICO, hold on one second. I'm tweeting out his damn link.
Nigga said if a nigga hit Diddy with a RICO, that shit sound crazy. I know Diddy's fucked up. Hey.
I don't know if I didn't tweet it out yet. Sorry. Okay.
Diddy lived a hell of a life though. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. So he probably be low key good. That nigga lived a hell of a fucking life.
So anyway, here's the point I'm trying to say. So
I don't even think he ain't even, bro. Jail works so crazy, bro. Jail like a connected board, nigga. Like if Diddy get in that system, Suge got access to him. Like Suge been in that joint too long. Like Suge been in there so long to the point where if Diddy in another state in prison, Suge got reach like that though. Like Diddy better take his motherfucking time, man. Like, and then they gonna be fucking Diddy. They gonna be extorting the shit out Diddy. Ooh, like take that, nigga. Sit down, nigga.
if we're going to assume that there's going to be a racketeer and a RICO charge that's going to be levied against Diddy, if you're trying to paint a picture to
give me your commissary
now clearly to a trial jury that Diddy is some mastermind that's had other people do his bidding, whether it, obviously recruiting, because remember a lot of these escorts and women were, they were ascertained by other people. So other people would, hey, I'm gonna put you on a private jet. I'm gonna send you there for Diddy to be used in some sexual,
Diddy
ritual
locked
fucking freak off. It's very tough and very hard to say
Shit is crazy.
he's the only one you're gonna charge. So what we're gonna see is that
It should get us a
there's
fool.
gonna be probably some other charges, right? And when I mean other charges, other people charged. Now, if we go by a lot of these civil suits, they were trying to throw a good damn lob to say Justin Combs should get charged as well. Basically saying he was doing a lot of the same things in terms of freak offs and
Look at AK trying to throw a nigga son in there. Chill, bro. Like, god damn.
sex trafficking women. Again, those claims came from civil suits, though. But we all know the investigation of this arises from civil suits. So it's going to be important to see who gets charged as well. I don't think that Justin Combs will be
I
can't
can't believe you still asking me what day I'm
Combs,
off. Like, that's
Christian
crazy.
Combs is going to be charged at all because we didn't really hear his name at all. Actually, we did hear his name in one of the joints. Somebody he drugged some girl. I just don't think he's going to be
Like, that shit
charged,
crazy.
honestly,
Like,
personally.
I don't even know.
Justin
Like, I don't
Combs, I
even
think
know.
he's a little bit
No, I
closer
don't
to the
know, man.
situation if they were going to investigate it. I still don't think he gets charged. Quincy, I think he's.
It's in God's hands, honey.
Obviously, if we think about his beautiful daughters, I don't think they're good. But we'll find out soon. We'll probably find out before, I'm pretty sure if we watch, the mom of Justin Combs is Misa Hilton. That's her name, I believe. She'll say something shortly. And, usually the way how the feds work is that, any law enforcement entity, they like to do all the arrests at the same time. So if Diddy's in custody, and let's say he's been in custody for a few hours, they did a coordinated effort to get the others in custody if they were arresting other people, right? So we should probably shortly see, some type of update either from Misa's page, and, obviously she's probably going to react to either Diddy getting arrested, or if her son, Justin, gets arrested, she's definitely going to be saying something, right? We probably hope.
He want her son locked up too bad. Hey, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Act. Like, nigga, go ahead, bro. My nigga gave us options on why the mama about to talk. Like, my nigga want the son locked up too bad. I ain't never seen no shit like that before.
Oh, we'll see about that. Who else could be charged? I mean, there are certain people who probably worked with him that did his bidding, right? Allegedly. People who used to, remember the whole thing about the Cassie thing, right? One of the big, and this I was talking about getting Bradford Cohen on here, because Bradford Cohen eloquently put this on the record, which I thought was smart. He's a defense attorney that has, did his work in federal and state cases, and he's a brilliant attorney. He said, when the video leaked of Diddy giving Cassie the beats, when that video leaked, he said, hey, I'm not being an asshole. I know a lot of people are going to be shocked by what I'm saying, but I'm not being an asshole, right? What he did
Disturbing new video appear.
What he did say was, I think this video might have been leaked strategically. Well, what's the strategy? If it was leaked strategically, not by the feds, because the feds could have leaked it too. They believe Cassie's team may have already had this video.
You ever heard
maybe have even threatened Diddy with the video that probably led to Diddy settling in 24 hours.
My nigga said, you remember the drug mule? He was like, they caught him, so he was like, just imagine if he told the feds that Diddy made him put drugs in his booty hole and go state to state, or he was like, or Diddy made me put the crack in my brack, and I'm like, man, but he was dead ass though. Nigga act stupid, bro.
Or historically, that's record time, right? But this video and it leaking could probably help drive the narrative, especially if the prosecutors or the investigators subpoenaed Cassie in for an interview. And in the interview, it wasn't clear if they were looking at her as just a victim
You know,
or
them celebrities
perhaps a
got that
Madonna.
money to get that shit
They
back.
were looking at her
They got that
as
jump back.
Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, Cassie, yeah, I know he was abusive with you. Yeah, he used to give you the beats, but all of the people, the other victims that were sex trafficked around the time you were there, we heard you reached out to them. We heard you used to, sweet talk them, and you used to, when they were in distress, you used to calm them down. That sounds like somebody who's complicit. Again, I don't know this as a fact. I don't know this as a fact, but I'm going off Bradford Cohen's theory. It's a brilliant theory, and you got to think really strategically, right? So how do you, if you're Cassie, how do you clear yourself? Well, the way you clear yourself, you put the video out of this nigga giving you the beats. Hey, whatever y'all think I did, I ain't do it.
My nigga, I ain't gonna lie. And the way he said it, I ain't gonna lie, that shit is kind of loose.
If I did get like 15 bitches and 15 long dick niggas, pause. Pause, extra pause.
He's stupid,
It's
bro.
because I had to. Diddy was beating my ass. So I'm not like a Ghislaine Maxwell, who Ghislaine Maxwell was the person who would get the young girls for Epstein and would even tell them, hey, nah, maybe you should go topless. Maybe you should do this. Like basically almost coercing them, right? But she, was seen as more of a friendly face because she's a woman, right? But she kind of was doing the same bullshit, right? So if the feds are looking at this as a possibility, how does Cassie escape that? Because put it like this, if you think about just traditional pimping, the bottom bitch gets the beats too. Like, let's keep it a beat. The bottom bitch gets the beats too. Like, by the way, I'm gonna talk. If you're new to my stream, and I know we do have like, it looks like we have about almost 50,000 people in here.
God damn.
I'm not the guy you come to hear.
50,000? 50? Yeah, AK. Like, you see how you just spitting, like, but I watched this already, like at work and shit, cause I was trying to watch it and do the topics myself, but I'm like, nah, AK spitting. He ain't even taking no breath. Like, he ain't even looking at nothing. He just talking. Like, he talking his ass off. And he going like this. Like, he just fucking shit up.
You're like fucking politically correct. So we're gonna talk, like, I'm not trying to disrespect either women or nobody, but we're gonna talk a little bit, realistic. Because that's how investigators are gonna be looking at it, at least before they file their charges or know where to go. Okay, yeah, maybe he was beating her ass.
The dog went to the park. But okay, you ain't even play with her little brother, but her little brother was over there jumping on. Man, go ahead, because when I went to school, that nigga can talk. Like, he can talk about everything.
Because the nigga is a woman beater and he does all type of shit, but maybe she was with it. How do you help convince, maybe not the investigators,
though, man.
but you put it into the ecosphere.
My nigga, the voice of the media, like the hip hop media, man. Like, he just got that shit on. Like, it's crazy, cause like, damn, bro, it look like don't nobody look at him. It feel like, cause sometimes his stream would say like 1,000 people, but that's only on Twitch. All together is like 50. That nigga be on like 20 different platforms. But it seemed like don't nobody watch him. But man, that nigga shit really be touching all bases. Like, man, I don't know how the hell he be doing that, but this nigga shit hit all algorithm no matter where. Like, his shit gonna hit.
Possibly could encourage the narrative that could affect a grand jury, or otherwise you leak the video. What video leaks? The video. Again, think about all the videos that could leak.
And he got somebody doing his shit. Like, say, while he in the middle of his stream, say like when he done with a topic, in the middle of his stream, his editor gonna take it and put it on YouTube while he's still streaming. Like, too. I can't do it like that because I'm doing it myself. But man, they be fucking him up. He can't do TikTok though. That shit be crazy, man. Nah, he'll fuck
Didn't
TikTok
50
up.
Cent say? Didn't 50 Cent?
That's how cash shit drop. That shit
Say
drop
that
while they
he
stream. They got them
supposedly
editors be pushing that shit out while
got
they shit
sent
by they own.
footage
That shit be
about a
crazy.
freak off that Cassie was in and literally hit Diddy up and said, bro, hey, niggas think I'm beefing with you like this. It ain't that serious. And he basically said he tipped Diddy off that there was a... That video don't leak. The video of them in whatever freak off don't leak. Right? And that video was being sent around. What video leaks? It's the video of Cassie getting beat. You get what I'm saying? Now, apparently... Let me play it that you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go.
And you see...
He's everywhere, and determination, alligating, and everything been up to, injecting his signature sarcasm.
God, kick
what Kim Deal point.
I ain't gonna lie, Gene Deal finna make a bag. The amount of interviews my boy finna do. Wait,
All
where's
them
the
security, lame ass security.
There's a 50.
Ain't nobody.
Thoroughly examined.
There's a 50 interview where he literally says it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we
What up, guys? Your boy here for you guys.
Friend, you want to be the hot?
Here we go.
After the
whatever.
Do you think that Diddy was coming at you though?
Who, Diddy?
Yeah, because you know he said some slick shit. Like,
it's really interesting because you know, Puffy's like a bitch.
Oh shit, man! What'd he say?
To describe Puffy in one word is a. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but I'll explain my statement. See, you know how ugly always got like pretty friends. He want to be the hot in the group. He want to make sure he getting all the attention. He want to make sure the niggas want to holler at him.
Wow.
You know, and it's the reality of the situation, man. Don't need me to tell you.
So
I mean, if he tell you, he'll tell you himself what happened in Miami, stay in Miami. Well, you know, it's not even open season on Diddy. I don't know who he's talking about because he ain't said my name.
Right, he didn't say your name, so.
Right, but I feel like that's the way I feel about him. I feel like he's, at the end of the day, whoever's around him, well, this is the final notice, the final note. Because he'll suck the life out of him like everybody else that he's been around. Man, I don't know. I know, check this out, on the up and up, the Puff, like he called, we used to kick it on the telephone after the match. And matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like, not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me, yo?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man.
Yo.
You killing me, yeah?
All right, we got Martin Gaines on the line.
Killing me, yeah?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Dude swear he was cool. Niggas said you killing me.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and.
We gonna go ahead and end this one right here. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hope y'all have a blessed one. See y'all on the next video.